Figured to do one more of this old boot videos. I posted like a community post about it, but these are a really old pair of, you can see Allen Edmonds. I don't know if you can actually see that box very well, but they were what they called the Caen Boot. It was similar. I think the Normandy boot was more popular. Similar design. That one I think had a more bulbous toe, but it might have been the same last. It's a very generous last. I got them true to size, but I remember someone suggesting you could size down, but a lot of that sizing down is often problematic and doesn't work. But these are 11.5D and they fit great. I was wearing them the other day, and honestly, it's kind of making me rethink some of these boot purchases, because these kind of more simpler, kind of casual boots, you could say, they're really comfortable, and I love my P&W and heavy duty stuff. But I think I realized with Nicks, I don't want any more like work leather. So no more 64, no more. I only have one max support because it was a eBay buy, but I would definitely not buy any more work leather boots. They're just too heavy duty. The leather's so thick, it's not as forgiving. So, if your little toes being kind of pushed a little bit, or your big toes being pushed, which are, I think little toe is very common. You hear about, the Parkhurst 602M modified last, and you hear of Drew's modified 55. Those are all to address like pinky toe smash. Clearly it's a common issue. I personally have more issues with big toe push on my right foot, so a sensitive foot. But, both of those types of things. And I've had some pinky toe push or smash a little bit on my H&W diatribe or whatever, where I went off about it years ago, or a year ago when I sold it. Like, that last is just doesn't work for my foot, and the main issue was toe push on both the pinky toe and the big toe here, so it's like crushing my pinky toe here and then pushing my big toe here, and it didn't work. But wearing these, it's just like, I don't know, these and some of my Fry boots. I have a couple pairs of those. I'll do a video eventually on one of those, or both of them. They're just, I don't know, kind of easier to wear. They don't have that kind of robust cool factor that you get with the P&W, but they're really nice. These specifically are pretty cool because they're Kudu. So I'm trying to get the camera to focus on my boot here. This is a suede Kudu. I think it's CF Stead, if I remember correctly. You could actually watch Boot Guy. The Boot Guy, I think this was his channel. I don't know if the guy someone said he got arrested. I don't know if that was true or he died or something, but the dude hasn't posted in years. It was just sad because he was like a earlier boot reviewer back in the day, pre-COVID, so 5+ years ago. I think he had like over 10,000 subs, or maybe more. It's just strange that he just disappeared, but he hasn't posted a video, I think, in 4 or 5 years. But he did a video on the Caen Boot too, and I think he said it was CF Stead. There was nothing in the box that really clarified that. Like, let's see what this says. It doesn't really clarify. But I have a pair of Wolverine 1,000 miles that were a CF Stead suede, and they actually came with like a little CF Stead card, so that's why I'm not sure. But kind of common Allen Edmonds construction. I do say these feel a little cheaper made. You can see separation if you look closely here, like with the two layers, the midsole and I guess it's really the midsole, or I don't know, it's almost the outsole, but then it has a half sole. But that, and then the welt. I guess there's a midsole too. I'm looking at it now on this side. Yeah, so I guess it's where the midsole and the welt touch. It's like separated, and there's like a lip now. And you can really see it when this bends. Here's another example. These are just so comfortable because they're so soft. This leather is like ridiculously pliable. I mean, look at that. Can't do that with P&W. I've never owned a Kudu P&W, but I know White's does that sometimes. I doubt they're this. And then this is kind of sad compared to, you get used to the P&W stuff. this heel counter is kind of a joke. It's like plastic, and I was messing with it. Almost I thought it was broken, but all four sides, you can hear it clicking. Listen to this. But it's on that, so either it broke on every single boot, or it's like two different pieces. Like maybe there's something here and then a lower cup. I don't know what this construction is. It's very poor. It's okay here, but I mean this is like a joke heel counter, and then there's seemingly some type of structure. I don't want to crush it because then I think it'll get deformed. But there's definitely something here. It's 2 layers of leather, but it feels like there's some kind of celastic or plastic or something. But it's definitely still soft. And then this is just like, I mean, how many boots can you just squish flat? Going on a trip, and I think I might take these with me because they're like more comfortable than a sneaker, even though they're a boot. And I hadn't worn them in a few years, and I forgot. But yeah, they're pretty cool. The soles, I don't know what to say of these. Sometimes I've been looked at these. Let me see if I get the camera to focus. So this, I almost feel like this might not be real leather. It almost feels like it's like a leather board. So like the outsole, it just feels really hollow, and listen to this. It doesn't sound like leather. And then this is cool looking, this clear as they called it. You know, you could say like it's a lug style, but it's all at the same time like it's really fragile, and the heel has crumbled multiple times and it just rips. You can see that. And I tried gluing it with shoe glue, and it rips again. I think both of them have this problem. Yeah, this one too. Come on, camera. It just, I don't care anymore. But when I was wearing these a lot years ago, that was always annoying. Allen Edmonds has definitely gone downhill. I bought these in late 2018, and these are like significantly lower quality than Allen Edmonds from like 2010-ish. And, you know, if you follow them now, I would never buy any of their products anymore. Allen Edmonds in 2024 is virtually like Macy's. I know some of it's still made in USA, but I mean, it's just fashion junk. I have no interest in it. I think they've been bought by some big corporation or something, but they're no good in my opinion. But this pair was okay. Not great, but not awful. These are not the original laces, by the way. You used to be able to buy these from Wolverine. They were the 1,000-mile boot lace. It's like a really thick, lightly waxed cotton lace. I think they were $10 or $20 years ago. I mean, I'm talking 6 years ago. But they took them down from the site a long time ago. But these were my favorite, and still are one of my favorite laces. They're a really good lace. I prefer these over like the stuff from Guarded Goods. Guarded Goods has great laces, but their waxed and even lightly waxed laces are still super waxy. These have just barely enough wax. The only, I think, better wax lace, in my opinion, would be Viberg's, but they're not as thick and big as these. I think they're only like 4 millimeter. And like everything Viberg, you have to pay a fortune to get they're not too expensive, but they're more money, and then you have to pay shipping from Canada, and it's just kind of a hassle. So unless you're buying a boot from them, it's not really worth it. They are really good laces, but they're also more, dainty, more fancy. This is more of just like a thick lace. Wolverine 1,000 Mile used to make a better product. They went downhill too, sadly. It seems like all those brands just went to heck, and that's kind of lame. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. I'm looking at these toes, they're not even the same. One of them seems like it's taller than the other, so, more low quality Allen Edmonds inconsistency. Who cares? But these heels, I am almost certain, are leatherboard. I guarantee it. Or paper. These could be cardboard. They feel like very cheap, and you could see visually it looks different. So the midsole might be a leatherish product, but these heel stacks are definitely not leather. This is plastic or something. And then there's some kind of lower slip stack, maybe this bottom little layer right here could be leather. down here right before the rubber, before the clear rubber. But I don't know. They weigh nothing, which is also a reason why they're nice. Yeah, I'll probably take these. I've been kind of debating. I was actually thinking today about bringing a pair of my antique Phoenix 310s. I think those would kind of be a decent boot to wear while I'm on vacation. We're going to a cooler climate. But I think I'll take these just because they're almost like a nice sneaker. Very comfortable. Yeah, that's kind of it. I think maybe I'll just show you the inside of the box because it was kind of weird in a minute. I'll get behind the camera, but yeah, anyway, this is another old boot of mine. Like I said, bought these in 2018. I probably wore them quite a bit for a couple years. And then, yeah, maybe a year, because it was around right before and during COVID times, like 2019, 2020 is when I started to really look at P&W and kind of getting hung up on that. And then I didn't buy any until 2022, but I mean, that's not true. Maybe I did wear these a bit because we took a couple trips kind of at the tail end of like when the lockdown started to lift, and I took these to a trip to Palm Springs. I think maybe that's not true. No, I took these on a trip to Austin. So I guess I've worn them a couple times, a little bit, but they've basically just been sitting in the box. So maybe another excuse to wear them again, and they're a better fit. Like I just don't think I could bring a Knicks on this trip we're going on, because they're just too heavy duty and bulky and heavy, and not a great fit for a flight when you're sleeping on the plane, because it's a long flight. So I wanted to just show you guys a couple more things. So this is weird. Move these out of the way for a minute. So I think I mentioned the box being kind of weird. Anyway, nothing special. You see the embossed logo. Edmonds, Port Washington. This was not normal for them. I don't know what they're doing lately, but it's blue inside with blue paper. Camera angle sucks, but this is kind of strange. Like, they usually just had, back when, like 2010 times, I was saying you just got a typical like shoe box, and I guess those aren't boots. Those were shoes I was getting back then, but still, like, I remember thinking this was an odd box for them. And I feel like even when I had a Higgins Mill, the weatherproof one that I ended up selling because they were too tight, I tried on in the store a normal Higgins Mill in 11.5D, and it fit great. And then they had to ship me the weatherproof that was I wanted it because it was natural Chrome XL, but it had like some type of weatherproof lining or something, some weirdness that Allen Edmonds was doing. And sure enough, that pair was not as good of a fit. So it was a bust. I ended up wearing them a little bit and then selling them. But that pair, anyway, had a normal box. Not this kind of, I don't know, it's almost like stylish fashion shit. But yeah, I'll just do kind of a quick close-up of the boots. Just while I was talking heads, couldn't maybe see them as close. It's kind of neat looking, I would say, maybe in a way that, I don't know, it's kind of more distressed looking, but then it kind of looks like it's falling apart. Like it just, the two layers really separate here. Sorry, let me get this back in camera. This just feels very cheap. I do like the what's it called, the weather, storm welt or whatever they call this, split welt. I guess it's a split reverse welt. And like even the join, some of Allen Edmonds does a really, oh my god, camera. Here we go. The join on the welt's not bad. Sometimes they do a really bad job. This is pretty clean for them, but I'm convinced this isn't real. It just feels too much like a paper. And this is cool, but it's not a good rubber. It just crumbles. You can see here. Let me get this a little closer. You can really see just that the pieces fall off. You step on a rock, and instead of it just like scuffing, it literally breaks. It rips the rubber apart. And it's, not a ton of wear here. Wore through a couple of stitching, I guess, but then this heel's almost smoked. It's going to get it once it wears into that. I mean, you're supposed to redo the top lift. This one's about the same. You can see I'm starting to wear into that, but this heel's actually okay. This isn't wearing too bad. This rubber just doesn't seem like a good material. And here, look at this. I'm convinced this is not real leather. I don't even think it's a leather board. I almost think it's like something worse, like a paper. They're very comfortable, so it's kind of the boot. I feel like once I wear them out, I'll probably just dump them at Goodwill when the soles are kind of blown out, but that probably wouldn't even happen because these never get any wear, so they'll probably just be something I eventually just get rid of. I wouldn't invest money in resoling a boot like this. It just doesn't seem like it's worth the money. But who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. Yeah, another pair of my old boots. Cheers.